guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Brooke. So I know I've been pretty bad about videos recently, and so I just kind of wanted to get back into it. And something I started just over a week ago is a 30-day kind of wellness challenge. So it's not necessarily like a cleanse or I work out every day, anything like that. Basically just every day I'm trying to just be more conscious about what I eat and how much I eat, because what I find myself doing is I will make myself a big breakfast first thing in the morning, and then I'll be like, oh, you know what, this sounds good, that sounds good, maybe I'll make some toast even though I just had a big breakfast, maybe I'll eat some chips, maybe I should warm up this. Along comes like 1 or 2 o'clock and it's like, hey, you know, it's about lunchtime, I should probably eat again. Am I hungry? No, but I feel like it's lunchtime, so I should eat. So then I eat again. And then the same thing with I snack all the way from lunch into dinner, and then I make a big dinner. And then if I stay up late, then I start feeling like I want to eat again, and then I'll have another snack. So I end up eating way too much. So it's been super unhealthy. And although I am still pretty thin, I have definitely gained weight, and I am the heaviest that I've ever been. And I'm not like unhealthy or morbidly obese by any means, and I'm aware of that. I don't think that I am, but I just kind of want to get back to where I like how I look, I like how my clothes fit, and I just don't feel like I look like myself. So I'm just trying to take control of things, and I do realize that it's a huge change from the lifestyle I've been living. And so what I'm doing is I'm having coffee and like celery juice, water in the morning, and I'm waiting till about 12:30 to eat. And then I'm having a small meal. And I'm having like maybe 2 eggs and some fruit. And then if in a couple hours I start feeling hungry, then I'm like, okay, I can have some more fruits, or I can have some steamed veggies, something healthy and small. And then same thing when I'll have kind of like a dinner lunch thing. So I'm basically eating like 2 meals a day. And then whenever I get hungry, I am eating. So I'm not starving myself, but I'm just trying to understand how much food I actually need, because what I've learned is in order to not be hungry all day, just, you know, only eating when I am hungry and eating healthy foods in smaller amounts, I'm finding out that I have been eating like 5 to 6 times the amount of food I actually need every day, which is probably how I ended up where I am. So I'm just trying to be more conscious about it and be smarter about what I eat, making sure that I'm watching like my portions, but also making sure that I'm having well-rounded meals. That's what I'm working on now. Right now I'm gonna prep some roasted potatoes. I'm gonna be making roasted potatoes for 2 meals this week, but it takes like 1.5 hours to 2 hours in the oven. So I'm just gonna prep it now. So some of the meals that I'm going to be making this week, I'm making chicken marsala with a capri salad and some roasted potatoes. I'm gonna be making lemon rosemary chicken with asparagus and some roasted potatoes. I'm going to be making shiitake mushrooms with some edamame and rice. And then, what was the other meal? I think I was gonna do salad for dinner one night, like a hefty salad with like shrimp and beans and, you know, whole well-rounded salad, not just like lettuce and dressing, you know. So those are the meals I have planned so far. Trying my best with that. So I'm gonna get started on the potatoes, and then I'll just kind of show you guys how I'm doing them. So before we get started, if you are new here, again, welcome. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe below and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Oh, so if you guys watched my most recent vlog, I was mentioning the boat. So we have been going boating every weekend, and it's been so fun. And I know I promised you guys a boat tour. Unfortunately, this past weekend when I was hoping to record it, we were boating all day, and when we got back, it was already dark, and the next morning, I forgot. I would only remember when we were already on the boat, and it's kind of hard to walk you through things as you're boating, you know? So yeah, but I am planning on still doing that, so hopefully I can do it this weekend. The other thing about this coming weekend is that hopefully our new speaker system should be in, so I'll be able to show you guys that as well. For the roasted potatoes, I'm using these Yucatan potatoes. I usually use the mini golden potatoes, but Darren went grocery shopping and he was unable to locate them. So he got these instead, which is fine because honestly, I usually cut even the small potatoes anyway. I just kind of half them. So it's okay, but I'm gonna be rolling with these. It's not my usual, but I mean, it's basically the same potato, just larger. So I don't foresee any issues with this. Whenever I make potatoes, I always use a recipe, but the issue is I can never find the same recipe because I don't know, I never bookmark it. Why do I not bookmark it or save it, you know, screenshot it, something to help me find it later on, and I just never do. I never do. So that's a problem on my part. So tonight I'm just gonna be throwing in some random herbs and spices that some of the recipes I've used before have included. So I'm using like paprika, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, thyme, rosemary, oregano, some lemon juice. So, you know, we don't really know how this is gonna turn out, but I don't think it's gonna be bad. I think it'll be pretty good. So, I mean, it's kind of tricky to mess up roasted potatoes, you know? But once I finish cutting them and I put all the spices on them, I'm just gonna bake it at 350 for, I think I'm gonna put it in for like an hour and a half. For some reason, even when it says it's gonna take an hour and a half to bake, it's always seemed to be like an hour 45 to 2 hours, 2:15, something like that. Some of it might have to do with how large I cut the potatoes. So I think yeah, these pieces that I'm cutting right now are smaller than the halves of the Yucatan of the mini potatoes. So actually these may cook faster, which I need to take into consideration because actually I might not need to have them in there that long. Well, I'm glad we had this talk because actually I might have just saved the potatoes. I was about to burn them. I melted a bit of butter in this bowl that I'm putting them in. There's some melted butter at the bottom. Not much, I think it's like a tablespoon and a half, something like that. Because you could use either butter or olive oil. And yeah, olive oil is a little better for you, but if it's only like a tablespoon and a half, I feel like there's not that many more calories. It doesn't make that big of a difference using butter or olive oil, but flavor-wise it does. So in order to still make them flavorful, I'm hoping that butter is just gonna do that trick for me. Because I feel like it's always so hard when you're trying to eat better when things don't taste good. Like they taste like you're trying to eat healthy, you know? And whenever that happens, I find myself back in the fridge, back in the cabinet, looking for some chips, looking for a cookie, something that's gonna just, you know, satisfy my cravings. So I'd rather just have a few extra calories, even if it's like 50, 60 more calories for dinner, and be satisfied with it, because by the end of the night, it will have saved me more calories. Because I think we all know one cookie or one chip, next thing you know, you're a couple handfuls deep. So I would rather just upfront accept the fact that you're gonna be consuming a few extra calories and just own it. So that's the game plan here. Because I can't, at first I was trying to do like full healthy, you know? And I was doing no carbs, like even potatoes were off. Like not allowed. And actually this is the first time I'm making potatoes since this, I started this diet. I think today is day 9 or 10. Today's day 9 or 10. But this is like the first time I've allowed this, because I was doing some research this morning, and it turns out when I was just trying to eat like low calorie, super healthy, like fruits, veggies, protein, that's it, limiting fats, carbs, all of that. It turns out that apparently, although you'll see results in the beginning, that's how you end up like plateauing, and where you like stop making progress, or sometimes you even start gaining weight because your body gets used to not having access to fats and carbs, and so your body starts storing everything. So at first it's like, okay, we're burning, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, we are not going to be getting any more of this anytime soon. We better hold on to everything. So apparently you're supposed to keep at least some carbs, obviously. I mean, try to limit breads and pastas, but I was unaware of that. I'm not really the dieting person. I don't know, I've never really been able to do that. I've never been legitimately fit. You know, I've been thin, but I've never been toned by any means. So I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of researching, and as I learn new things, I'm altering my approach. So who knows, in another week or two, I might read something else and be like, oh, hey, that makes sense. Because there's more than one way to do it, you know? I just want to do it a way that's proven, because what I'm doing, I'm just kind of like hope for the best, you know, cross your fingers, hope for the best. So I'm looking for some direction, and I'm hoping that this is gonna work, but we'll see, we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm not gonna do daily or even weekly vlogs about this. I'll probably mention it, or maybe I'll share some of the recipes, but I really sincerely don't feel like I know enough about this to be out here preaching or suggesting or sharing with you guys what I'm doing like it's working, because your girl doesn't know what she's doing. So it turned out this is quite a hefty amount of potatoes for that limited amount of butter. I don't need it like drowning in it, you know, I'm not trying to make soup. Okay, cool, everything's coated, that's all I needed. I just need it so that the spices are gonna stick, you know? Okay, so this was actually a lot of potatoes. I just asked for one small bag. I think it's like this big of the potatoes, but because he couldn't find them and he didn't know how big the bags were, he just kind of grabbed a large quantity, which I appreciate, you know? Better to have too much than not enough. But I'm starting to think that I might have to change up some of the meals to include some more potatoes. But usually I'll make like enough while I have it for breakfast and dinner, and I have 2 different meals that have it. So technically it would be 4 meals total. Okay, this is even aggressive for 4 meals. Okay, as we're talking about limiting my carb intake. Okay, well, it's okay. Honestly, Darren will probably have some. He says he doesn't want any, but once it's cooked or you smell it, you know, all of a sudden it's a game changer. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna put all the spices on top and then mix it in. This looks aggressive, but there's just like so much in there. I know it's gonna take a lot. Wait, did I use, wait, I don't think I'm supposed to use oregano. Too late. Okay, there's just a little bit of that. What are we doing? We sincerely, wholeheartedly have no idea. Okay, maybe I should have at least looked up a base recipe, but we're just going wild. I know for sure I really like thyme, rosemary, and lemon, and garlic powder and onion powder in my potatoes. I know that for sure. It reminds me of this roasted chicken I make, and I make like a whole chicken on top of potatoes, onions, and carrots, and those are the spices I use. And the potatoes under the chicken turn out so good, so good. So I know for sure I at least want that in here. Probably looks like I'm putting a lot, but there's not really much coming out because it's one of those twisty things. Oh, garlic powder. That's important. As it turns out, I am absolutely fantastic. Okay, no, that was a major exaggeration. I am starting to get a hold of wake surfing. So no, I think 2 or 3 times I was able to get up, and I stayed up for like 1 to 3 minutes, and it was awesome. It was so cool. It usually, I mean, I've been able to get up before, but usually I can only stay up for, I think maximum so far has been like 8-10 seconds, and that was a huge accomplishment for me. And I'm really just adding spices here. Okay, maybe I should start before I smell it. And that was a huge accomplishment, and I just really want to get good at it. Like Darren's entire family, like even his parents, are baller at it. So I just really need to step up my game. They're just such an active, sporty family all together. Like all the kids even snowboard, and the parents, they ski, and actually they may know how to snowboard, I'm not sure. And they do like snowmobiling and boating and just water skiing, wake surfing, wakeboarding. They just do everything. They're such a sporty family. It is just such a different speed. So I am not used to any of this. Like me and my family, we will 100% do adventures and fun things together, but we don't do like sports, you know? And yeah, Darren's family definitely does. So I feel like I'm kind of starting behind because I have no experience with any of this. So I'm just trying to like catch up, you know? So it's kind of like baptism by fire, but I'm really excited because I feel like I'm getting a hang of it. Because, okay, I don't know if you guys have ever wake surfed or wakeboarded before, but it sucks when someone sucks, because it doesn't just affect that person, it affects everyone. Because every time the person falls, you gotta stop the boat, you gotta bring the boat around, you gotta pick them up, you gotta get them set up, and then you can go again. So every time it's like, cut the music, cut the speed, we gotta wait, turn around. So it's just like stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. And so it really sucks when someone sucks, you know? And it's so much fun when the person who's writing is good, because the music's going, everyone's vibing, it's a good time. You could take videos of them, pictures of yourself, you have the wind in your hair, it's a whole vibe, you know? So it's kind of felt like I've been like holding the group back, and it really, really sucks. And I'm so excited, so stoked that finally I feel like I'm getting a hang of it, and now I feel like I can vibe with the group. So everyone's like, oh, good job, good job. And I'm like, really, you have no idea just like how important this is to me and how much it means to me. Wow, I'm adding more. Okay, we are just, why does this like smell like ketchup? What? What? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But it also doesn't smell, oh, maybe lemon juice? It also doesn't smell like anything that it's supposed to smell like. It also doesn't look like it usually does either, so. Oh, this is gonna be an adventure. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. Okay, that helped. I don't see any rosemary, I don't see any thyme, and I feel like I keep adding it. I don't understand where it's all going. Okay, so I looked up a recipe and figured out what I was missing. So Italian seasoning and cayenne pepper. So that's what was missing. So now it's done, and I'm gonna throw it in the oven. Update, potatoes smell amazing. After baking for literally over 2 hours, it's finally done. I cooked it at 350, and I'm starting to think that I should have done it at a hotter temperature. Okay, so this lighting's trash, but I'm just gonna taste it real quick. Let's see if this actually turned out. Wow, this is actually really good. I think it does need a bit more salt, but I can add that on now. And there's a bit of a kick because I had added some cayenne pepper at the end, and I may have gone slightly aggressive with that, but the flavor is amazing. I'm really happy I ended up adding the Italian seasoning because it really pulled it together. So, yay! All right, well, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me for my vlog. Don't forget, I am uploading videos every Tuesday and Friday. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe below. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Thanks, guys. I will see you in my next video.